Hello! Linus and I are here for another What I Eat in a Day video. A simple tip that we use in coaching is planning our meals. We ask our clients to plan what they're going to have for the day. I do a very loose plan for my meals, usually smoothie or oats. Lunch is always the big beautiful salad, and dinner is steamed vegetables or a soup or some sort of warmer kind of dish for dinner. Even in the summer, I just like a little bit of heft to dinner. That's just me. So we're going to start with a smoothie this morning, and I'm just going to pull from the fridge. I've got a fresh mango. I love these champagne mangoes. I'm going to do some spring mix. I have some mature kale leaves. And then from the freezer, I always have cauliflower rice on hand. I love this stuff. And then I've got my frozen bananas and flaxseed that I have already ground. And I'm going to make a smoothie bowl today. I've been doing this recently because I like to sit down and enjoy my smoothie bite by bite. I use a spoon, I put a little fresh fruit on top and sometimes some oats, and just really enjoy eating my smoothie with a spoon. I find these mangoes are really easy to get off of the pit as well. Go down the side of the pit like that is another way to get a nice pretty piece. Alright, so that's ready. And I'm going to start by putting my water and ice in. You can just use cold water if you'd like. You can always use plant milk if you'd rather. So this is about 1.5 cups of ice water I'll put on the bottom. And got my fruit, mango, cauliflower rice. Not a have to, I just like to add a little bit of cruciferous. So that was about 1.5 cups probably. I'm going to add a little bit of turmeric and ginger, fresh. You don't have to. This always adds a little spark. And I just throw the whole thing in. I don't even bother to feel it. A little bit of pepper helps the turmeric be bioavailable. Tablespoon of ground flaxseed. I do get the dark flax seeds and grind them. This spring mix has been around for a little while, so I'm getting tired. Use it up in here. Do you love smoothies? Do you hate smoothies? I think there's a mixed camp. I know some people say they love the salads, but they get tired of them, so then they just go to smoothies a lot more than chewing up the salad. As long as you're getting your greens in, do it the way you like. All right, so there's 3 big leaves of curly kale. Just gonna give these a little bath. Scoop off the leaves. What I love about smoothies is they're so changeable. I've been making the challenge recipes for 3 years now and haven't run out of ideas yet. So I'm going to mix this up and then give it a taste. If it needs some more sweet of some sort, we'll figure that out. That's a nice healthy 1 banana worth. All right, here we go. Going to be sweet enough. This made about 40 ounces of smoothie. So this is going to be my breakfast, and then I'll put more away for either later on in the day or a dessert after dinner. So it's pretty, like green pudding. It's very thick. If you want it thinner, add more water, that's fine. Some mornings I like to put oats on top of this. Some berries. And breakfast. All right, we'll be back with lunch in a little while. Lunchtime. We're going to make that blackberry dressing I mentioned. So get my blackberries, and got lemons, and then for the salad, and the rest of the spring mix for this morning, and some cabbage and a little bit of a sweet kale mix left. I like to chop, so I'm going to chop all that. Onion, do some mushroom, have some cooked. I have a small container for my blender, so if you have that, that's great for smaller amounts. If you don't, you can use your big one, but maybe double the recipe. So, in the blackberries. Now, put a little bit of, that'll be this sweet, kind of sweet tart. Blackberries have a little bite to them. So this is bitter and sweet. Vinegar. This is a white balsamic from California Balsamics. Put a little dab of mustard. Umami is that savory. Now the thing about berries is they have pectin in them, which is a natural thickener. It's what you use when you make jellies, but you can also make jelly naturally from fruit because it's got some thickening in it. So you'll see this is pretty thick. Woo! And pretty tart. So, date paste to the rescue. May not be enough, but we'll give it a try. Let's try it, see what works. I think that's going to be fine on the salad. Sweet kale salad. So that was a little bit of the sweet kale mix. This is a little bit more cabbage. I was thinking breakfast probably had about 5 or 6 ounces of greens. Dr. Furman says a good target to shoot for is a pound of raw greens. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my onion in here too because I like it really chopped up. We want raw onions and as much as you can stand. This is a Vidalia onion, so it's pretty sweet. And I'm going to do about 1/4 of a medium. All right, this is going to be the base of the salad, and I'm going to chop, chop, chop. Okay, and this is the famous 2-quart Corral bowl. I'm going to put my salad in. Remember, this is going to be a lot of salad. You can eat it all super. If you feel like you can't, just eat it the next time. You can. And we want to fill up on the greens. I tell my clients, eat your greens by any means. This is an English cucumber. And then I'll do beans at dinner. That's the other bee. And we're going to do a little bit of seeds on this. I'm going to get the pumpkin seeds out. I like those. I have cooked mushrooms that I cooked earlier in the week and just keep them in the refrigerator to toss on my salads. Some people don't like the texture of cooked mushrooms on their salad, so if you want to hide it in your smoothie, go for it. Now let me show you what a tablespoon is. It's a tablespoon. It goes pretty far. I'm going to do like a 1.5 tablespoons. So far all we've had is the flax. So I could thin this out, but I'm just going to do some plops here, and then I'll stir it all up when I'm ready to eat it. I love, love, love hummus to make creamy. Make things creamy. So to set up. And there we go. I'll see you back here and we'll do dinner. Time to make the dinner. So sometime last week I was gathering things from the refrigerator, which is how I tend to make a meal, and came up with this particular recipe, kind of a stew, a lot of veggies of course, and today I'm going to make it with a little bit of lentils because, as I said earlier, we need a few more beans for today. So, a big pan out. I think I'll do a red onion this time. These are a little strong. And my red lentils, need some apricots, a little bit of veggie broth. You may have seen me use this before. I love this little guy. So handy, very sharp, be very careful. The celery's looking pretty sad, but we'll work through that. There that is. I'm going to heat the skillet while I'm going here. Okay, so I'm going to do the onions in here. A smaller size. Put them in the skillet. Get them started. Ready to roll. Okay, so that was 4 pretty big carrots. I did get some bok choy and some jalapeno pepper out. Give them a look-see. I'm going to go ahead and do the jalapeno on there too. And then I'll just put that on the tin. If this gets dry at all, I'm just going to add a little bit of veggie broth. The consistency we're looking for is a little brothy, but not soup. Chunky, nice. I am going to put lentils in here to cook as well, so I will need to put a little more broth. That nice broth to cook. So I'm just going to start with those veggies and add the lentils and some broth. We're going to end up with a cup and a half of cooked lentils in here, roughly. There's the trash man. The whole thing is going to serve 3 or 4 people. Not too beany. Okay, so now I'm going to put about a cup and a half of liquid in here. Let it cook. Maybe cook for about half hour or so. So there's the smash, which is, and it loosens up the paper nicely, and then you can chop or put it through the garlic press. I think I'm going to use the press. And then I'm going to show you this little guy. Just a simple little tube that my sister gave to me. She thought I might like it. Same idea. Just gets the paper started. So either way. The best garlic press I have found, there is Xylix has one. This is a Pampered Chef one. I really like it. This is the consistency that we're going for, but the lentils need to cook. So I'm going to add a little bit more liquid and put the lid on it. And 15-20 minutes, I'll be back to add the other things. See you then. While we're here, I will do my cauliflower. Again, forgiving recipe, you can use as much or as little veggies as you want. Slice, florets, whatever texture you want. And dump in there. Whoop. I've got this bag of soft dried apricots from Whole Foods. They are just organic dried apricots. I think there's 4 left. They're not very pretty, but I'm gonna just dice these up and put them in here for a little sweetness. Okay, this has been cooking for about 15 minutes or so. The lentils have cooked. They're kind of disappearing, so that's probably the case. And they'll just kind of get mushy if we cook them so long, so doesn't matter, they don't have to be intact. This was 3 baby bok choys that I just cleaned and sliced. So I'm gonna put them on top. I'll let this cook another probably 10 minutes. This is about the consistency I want. I want just a little bit of liquid. So I'll put this back on for another 10 minutes, and I'll have the complete directions in the PDF that you can get by going to thewateringmouth.com/cheat sheets, and also it's in the description with this video. So we'll let this cook a little bit more. Oh, tomatoes. I'm gonna throw them in now too. Cherry tomatoes, I had small ones. These are actually grape tomatoes. They're small. I'm just gonna throw them in like that. They're gonna pop. The skins will stretch and they'll pop and they'll be perfect. Notice there aren't many spices in this. This is a very simple recipe. The jalapeno will give it a little bit of heat. The apricots will give it a little bit of sweetness, but I will not put any other seasonings in it. And then at the table, I can add some Mrs. Dash or any other no salt seasoning. And it's pretty simple. You of course can spice it up however you'd like to. I'm just going simple. And then when I do the serving in the bowl, I'll show you this. We talked about not having quite our pound of raw vegetables today between our smoothie and our salad. So I'm going to toss some arugula, another couple ounces of arugula in the bottom of the bowl, and I'll just tear this up, or I could cut it up. You can just use some scissors. And here is the finished dish. Lovely. See those tomatoes just kind of deflated. Not too watery, not like a soup, but I can always pull it out of that liquid if I want to. I'll do a little bit of the liquid. And there we go. Our Eat to Live food is done for the day. Leftovers for another day of this beautiful, we'll call it a cauliflower stew. So enjoy your day of eating. Hope it's as tasty as this. If you try the recipes, let us know. Tell us what you think down below. Leave a comment. I hope you liked that video. Hope you got some tips for your own life, for your own kitchen that will help you. And speaking of help on your weight loss journey, on your health journey, if you're on our mailing list, the Watering Mouth's mailing list, I promised you in the letter this week that I would give you a tip, one tip that can change everything for you. Are you ready for it? Here you go. Here it goes. Be open to possibilities. Sounds too simple, right? Sounds kind of silly, but bear with me. When we are open to possibilities, open to things can be different than the way they have been, open to, there's more that I can do, there's more that I can learn, there's more that I can think and feel and change the trajectory of my eating journey. Just being open to the possibility. Give me a little crack in the door and I will rush right in with coaching, with all of the love in the world, with all the help that I can offer you. But I can't do it. It's not even possible if you're not open, right, to possibilities. Could things possibly be different than they are? Could your future look different than your past? Let's find out.
click the button somewhere around here that talks about getting on a strategy call with me. Let's chat about the possibilities and get a little crack in the door, as it were, of your mind to begin to at least consider that things could be different than they have been. And what's that change that could take place? Let's talk soon.